Some action movies arrive with a mass marketing campaign and endless spectacle. Firestorm showed up in January of 1998 for a quick 2-week theatrical run and then quietly landed on video store shelves and spent years waiting for somebody to rent it. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why that somebody should be you. Admittedly, Firestorm is not a lost masterpiece, and it's definitely not interested in passing an acting exam. What it is, though, is a lean, sweaty 89-minute action movie with a terrific villain, real stunt movie energy, and no desire to waste your evening. So grab the tape, ignore the critical smoke damage, and let's get into why Firestorm quietly kicks ass. Now, the setup to Firestorm is pure video store magic. Howie Long plays Jesse Graves, which honestly is a pretty weak action hero name. No offense to any Jessies out there, but he does make up for it by being a badass smoke jumper who parachutes into wildfires and apparently has no setting between calm professional and launching axes at bad guys. After a quick opening rescue establishes Jesse as the type of hero who runs towards the explosions, the movie then introduces its real hook. A group of prisoners have been brought out to help fight a forest fire, but the blaze has been deliberately set as part of an escape plan, allowing criminal mastermind Randall Shea to break free, recover $37 million hidden in the wilderness, and eliminate anybody standing between him and the cash. Coincidentally, another fire is already moving through the forest, so the movie becomes this chase picture where the walls are made out of flames, while Jesse must ironically rescue a bird rescuer named Jennifer, stop Shea, deal with his armed crew of junior villains, and avoid being barbecued by the entire state of Wyoming. Luckily, Jennifer was a Marine before her thriving bird-saving career, so she does become the Robin to Graves' Batman. It's all a wonderfully efficient premise. The heroes cannot wait for help, the villains can't stay in one place, and every path through the woods is slowly disappearing, so Firestorm takes the old crooks hunting buried money plot and it drops it into an environment that wants everybody dead equally. The mostly digital fire has no favorites. Everything is fuel and it's ready to get to work. Now let's address the 6'5" elephant in the burning forest, Howie Long. Now, Firestorm was built as a starring vehicle for Sylvester Stallone when this was a Savoy Pictures project, but that studio went bust and this script went over to Fox with Long stepping in, and I'll keep it real, he's not exactly giving us Shakespeare among the pines. However, I do think he has exactly what this movie needs. He looks believable carrying the equipment, throwing criminals around, riding through fires, and taking enough punishment to make an insurance company quietly leave the theater. I think here Long plays Jesse as straightforward and capable. There's no tortured anti-hero routine or complicated mythology. He's just a decent guy who knows the woods and has work to do. And in a movie this stripped down, I think that simplicity is part of the charm. Also, the fire in this movie may consume half the forest, but it cannot move his hair, showing that some structures are simply built beyond modern engineering because the man has a beautiful head of moss in this movie from start to finish. All of that aside, though, the real reason Firestorm works is William Forsythe. Forsythe plays Shea with the exact amount of greasy menace that this movie requires. He's capable, smart, cruel, selfish, and just increasingly irritated that his perfect escape plan keeps getting interrupted by Howie Long appearing through the smoke at every turn. And in this movie, Forsythe gives Shea a menacing personality and plenty of theatrical nastiness to keep every confrontation feeling lively, and I do think his energy is what drives this movie. Plus, he gets the movie's best villain behavior, lying to everybody, turning on his own crew, slowly revealing that money matters more than survival. I mean, Shea's the kind of bad guy who could be standing in front of a approaching wall of fire and still ask whether or not anybody found the cash, and this wild persona in the hands of Forsythe is action gold. Scott Glenn also adds instant credibility as Jesse's veteran mentor Wint, while Susie Amos gives Jennifer plenty of resourcefulness to make her more than just standard hostage cargo. Neither character is deeply written, but both do add just enough weight around the central Long versus Forsythe showdown to leave a nice imprint. Now at 89 minutes, Firestorm really moves. It gets through the opening rescue, the prison escape, hostage situations, a hidden money chase, betrayals, motorcycle stunts, a bus rescue, the gut punch mentor reveal, and a flaming showdown, all without feeling overloaded. And it just has that compact rhythm of an epic Friday night rental that was discovered after all the bigger titles were gone. The action overall is pretty tactile and direct. People are running and climbing and shooting and swinging axes and scrambling through burning locations. The fire isn't just background decoration either. It really does change the geography of the story at the right time, which keeps forcing the characters into worse decisions, and overall that does help keep the intrigue dialed up. All of which leads to a finale that understands the assignment. We get betrayal, an axe, a boat, two walls of flame converging on each other, underwater survival, and a villain who requires several separate deaths before accepting the fact that the movie is over. Is it ridiculous? Absolutely. But does it deliver on a title like Firestorm? Also, absolutely. The movie has its flaws, the dialogue's pretty blunt, some of the supporting convicts are little more than future firewood, and Howie Long's dramatic range sits mostly between concerned and a little bit more concerned, but none of that sinks the movie because Firestorm knows exactly what shelf it belongs on. This is a sturdy B-action thriller wearing a studio release blazer. It has a crisp, clean concept, a memorable heavy, convincing danger, and a hero that you can root for without needing a flowchart. Plus, the gratuitous kill to close out the show really is the perfect cherry on this gimmick pie. Now, Firestorm did bomb in theaters, but the video store was always a better home for this movie. This is exactly the kind of flick that just benefited from strong box art, a familiar face, and one simple premise. Howie Long fights criminals while everything burns, and for 89 minutes, this movie keeps that promise. So, does 1998's Firestorm quietly kick ass? I think it absolutely does. Maybe not elegantly and certainly not with perfect dialogue, but with an axe in one hand and a motorcycle nearby, and with William Forsythe chewing through the scenery before the scenery catches fire, this movie is a great ride. Now I'm going to kick it back to you guys. Let me know down in the comments, is 1998's Firestorm an overlooked action gem, or should this tape have stayed down on the bottom shelf? This wraps up the inaugural episode of Sunset Video Quick Picks. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you as always for watching and all your support. I appreciate you guys. I hope to see you all back in my next video coming real soon, and until then, movies never say die.
Jack Burton and the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there.
Survive a war, you gotta become war.
I suppose we have to register you as a lethal weapon.
You trying to say Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball?